Good morning, everyone. I hope this finds you all well and you're still coping with this remote learning. This, as always, is the first slide, giving you the checklist of what we're going to do in this lesson. In this lesson, we are going to introduce income and profit statements. We're going to learn how to create a profit statement, and we're also going to learn about the terminology that's used within an income or profit statement. An income or profit statement is a document that businesses prepare in order to work out whether they've made a profit or loss in the buying and selling of goods. So if you cast your mind back to the beginning when we talked about the purpose and the reasons that business exists, one of the most fundamental reasons that they exist is to make a profit. In order to make a profit, you must sell goods for less than what it costs you to either buy them or make them. If you do sell goods for less than what it costs you to make them, then that would be called a loss in a business. And as we said earlier, the document that businesses prepare in order to calculate whether they've made a profit or loss is called an income or profit statement. What we have here is an example of what an income or profit statement would look like. Like a cash budget, it has a set template and it should be laid out exactly as it is here. So what I'd like you to do now is copy this. I've provided a template with the lesson if you want to use that, or copy it into your jotter, but you don't have to send this task to your teacher. This slide is giving you the main terminology that's used in income and profit statements. Some will be familiar and some will be new. The first one is sales revenue, or sales as it's sometimes called, is basically just the amount of money that a business makes from the selling of their goods and services. The next term is a new term. It's called cost of sales. The cost of sales is basically the total cost of purchases or raw materials, and that could include delivery charges and things like that. So the cost of sales, you take that away from your sales, and that would give you what we call the gross profit. Now, in an income statement, businesses calculate a profit at this stage, just working out how much money they've made in just the buying and selling of goods. Then what we've got is our expenses. We are familiar with expenses because we looked at them in cash budgets. For example, wages, electricity, rent. Once you've added up all your expenses, then you would take your expenses away from your gross profit, and that lets you know whether you've made a profit or loss. And what you would be required to do in any assessment is give a brief outline, basically define what these terms are. So it is important that you learn them. In order to be able to understand an income statement, it's really important that you can explain what the terms are, where they go in the income statement, and how you calculate the final figure. So the actual numbers here are quite irrelevant. This is a really basic profit statement. However, you have to, in order to analyse it and understand it, you need to be familiar with these terms. So what I would like you to do now is use the income statement that you prepared in task 1 and label it just like it is here to become more familiar with this terminology. For this task, I would like you to use the income statement in the previous slide to answer the first 3 questions, and then use the terminology slide in order to answer question 4. When you've completed this task, you will send this to your teacher. Attached with this lesson, you have also got an exercise sheet with profit statements. I'd like you to complete them, and you can use the template that I've provided, or you can just copy it out into your jotter or create your own, but make sure that they use the format from the slides in this lesson. You don't have to send this to your teacher because we're going to use these again next week in order to do the interpretation, and I will provide you with solutions then. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to outline, that's give a brief description of why businesses prepare profit statements, prepare an income and profit statement, be able to define a range of terms as indicated here that relate to profit and income statements.